What's up, everybody? Welcome to this will make the cut, I'll tell you that much. What's up, everybody? Welcome to 5-Minute Fridays. This is going to be a whole new segment aside from WEsail Wednesday because we think that you guys don't have enough we in your week. So we're going to put together these 5-minute videos. Hopefully they'll be 5 minutes. We'll try to keep it down to that. But basically, we want to share with you all the videos that didn't really make the weekly cut. It's going to be everything from like funny videos. Obviously, we'll add that one just before that. How-tos, techniques, little extras that we feel that we would like to share with all of our viewers. So this week, we'll start with all the extras that Warren has done on this boat. Everything from the solar panels, water collection systems, storage, the whole thing. We're just going to cover it all for you in 5 minutes. So here you go.
This is gonna be fun to show you guys all the additions I've done. So let's start at the top. The first thing is the solar that I added. I went with 11 different panels spread out over the roof of the Cat, which add up to 1400 watts, which is more than enough to keep up with our demands and to keep our 600 amp hour battery bank full. Also, I did a quite nice job, I think, installing some semi-rigid, some soft panels on the bimini and actually sewed it in quite nicely so it's pretty streamlined, sheds water and sheds air so it doesn't catch in the wind. And while I was sewing on the bimini, I actually put in some pretty nice storage up there, some net storage, which is super handy. Yeah, pretty nice to have that storage up there. And on the solar installation, I took it one step farther and made it just a little bit more pimp by dividing all the panels into 4 groups by wiring it with 4 different solar charge controllers, which means that when one of the panels gets shaded, which it inevitably will, it doesn't knock out the whole system. It just knocks out that one group that is shaded, and the other 3 would be performing as normal. So really a pretty nice system. Of course, you'll see as the video goes on, I'm a big proponent of cooling fans, and so of course I added 2 cooling fans to the charge controllers that are on thermostats, so as they heat up, the fans kick on and help keep them cool. While in the engine room, it brings me to the next addition, which is one of our biggest and best additions by far. I cannot possibly say enough awesome things about our new battery bank. We upgraded to lithium ion about 3 months ago, and it has been an incredible change. The amount of stress that it has reduced, and it's been incredible. These batteries could take up their own video, which I probably will make in the future. But basically, we went from a 750 amp hour battery bank of AGM to 600 amp hours of lithium. And if you don't know, that's almost like doubling our capacity. Even though it went down in amp hours, the amount of usable space in the batteries are much higher. So that means that battery bank is almost double than our old 750 amp hour AGMs. But just know that it is worth every penny, at least to us, to upgrade to lithium. So it's been a huge addition. We haven't had to run the generator or even worry about these batteries. So that's huge when you're living on boat, is to reduce your worries, and they certainly have. And to handle all of this power that we now have, I have gone with 2 different inverters, a bigger 220 inverter and a smaller 110. We don't have a lot of things that run off of 110, so I can go with a smaller 110 inverter and a much larger 4,000 kilowatt inverter, which is huge. And it's actually big enough to run our dive compressor, which is just incredible to not have to run the generator. We can literally run our compressor, our dive compressor, from solar, essentially. The solar charges the batteries power the inverter, and the inverter powers our dive compressor. It has been fantastic. We can fill 1 or 2 bottles a day, which is more than enough to keep up with Erica and I and our demand for diving, so it's been great. Hey guys, quick side note. I realize I am absolutely flying over all of this stuff, and I'm sorry for that. I'm trying to keep the video down to 5 minutes. That's the idea. I'm sure this is a futile attempt to do so, but an attempt nonetheless. And in doing so, I'm skipping over a lot of the finer points that could showcase what a slick installation I came up with on a lot of this stuff. And it's probably some of the most interesting stuff to those of you working on your own boats. You know, anything from the mounts that I use to attach the solar panels, helping keep them cool and more efficient, to the hidden compressor filling hose and the cooling fans to help keep the compressor running well. To the gas lift cylinders installed on some of the access doors Oh, and especially the amazing system I created for the rain collection system I came up with that I'll get to soon. But again, I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep the video down to 5 minutes, so if this is something that truly interests you, message me, I'll get you all the information that I possibly can. And other than that, let's get back at it. Yeah, couldn't be more stoked on the batteries, and it's really important to keep all batteries cool, so I actually devised a system where we have a couple fans, cooling fans, on a thermostat, and as the batteries heat up, the fan will turn on and actually flush the whole area with fresh air, so help prolong the life of the batteries with that. All right, moving on, and actually right over to the other engine compartment is something that is purely convenience, but something I actually love, and that's a boat spray down pump. So draws in salt water and just really helps be able to wash the boat down when she gets a little cruddy or in between rains, which in the drier climates has been super, super handy, and I just love having this thing on board. Plus it's fun. And I have this really neat disconnect right here, which can disconnect under pressure. It's very low profile, pretty pimp, really love it. Boom. Little side note or sidebar is that I found this really awesome switch panel. It's a 6-button that can control a whole bunch of different things for me, 6 things actually to be exact. I've got my wash pump, which I just showed you, my rain pump, which I'll show you, saltwater pump, 110 inverter, outside fridge, and my motion lights. I really, really like it. It's super, super low profile and just a little push button to control all that stuff, so super seamless. Which actually seamlessly takes me to the next thing I wanted to show you, which is this really nice LED strip light. They're a continuous strip, not individual bulbs, so this looks really neat at night, and it's nice to have if we have guests coming over or I'm doing some barbecuing, and it really lights up the back deck. Very nice addition on that one for sure. So also out back, the next thing would be these canvas sun and rain screens that I sewed, which have been super, super helpful for those really rainy days where we don't want everything to get drenched. It keeps it quite open and breezy to keep the air flowing, but protects all this area from the rains that we so often get. I also did the exact same thing over here at the helm. This area used to just pour rain down and soak this whole area and our cushions back here. So now with this here, keeps it all completely dry. Before we get too far inside, whew, it's breezy, I hope this works. I put on window coverings that are just a simple vinyl covering, and I got them on most of the windows. Like this window right here, you can hardly even tell. I think it looks so nice from the outside. It definitely cuts down on the temperature inside, and yet doesn't kill the visibility from inside. So I think it's just this really simple vinyl covering. I think it's really, really nice. So we're definitely stoked that we've got those on sunny days like this. Whew. Okay, now I think we can move in. And one of the most important things on boats is storage. And there was a ton of places I found that I could add storage to. So this could be another thing that's its own video, but I'm just gonna show you an overview basically. I was able to find pockets like this right here where, you know, I opened it up and added these doors, which are, you know, 30, 40 bucks on Amazon. There's also another one behind here. I mean, look at this, that's crazy. So they are all over the boat, and it took some investigating. It's not the easiest job, that is for sure, but we've been able to get a lot more storage. One of the most impressive one is under the stairs. Look at this. These were glued down, and I had to cut them off with a Sawzall blade, but able to open up, and so on both sides we have these 4 stairs, and man, it adds up, that's for sure. And this isn't storage per se, but outdoor fridge, gotta have it. Or as we call it, the fun fridge. While we're on fridges, on all 3 of our fridges, we have 2 fridges and a freezer, I added thermostatically controlled cooling fans. So this fan right here blows air in on, right behind here is where the compressor is for the freezer. So this one blows air into that pocket, okay? And then on the back side here, we have this one extracts it. These things are found on Amazon, and I have it controlled with a thermostat. So when the compressor kicks on and gets warm, this thing turns on these fans, and I had those on all 3 fridges, freezers. So it certainly helps reduce power consumption, and I think probably in the long run it helps prolong the life of those guys. So that's good. All right, now that we're fully inside, the list here is just about as long as it is for the outside. Starting at the kitchen and the galley, I replaced what was a very small square sink that was just barely large enough to hold a full-size pot. It's really odd how small it was. So I went to a much larger but fitting square deep basin sink. Also, one of the best things that we added was a saltwater spray down pump, which we use religiously for pre-washing all the dishes. It really saves on our fresh water. I added a much nicer, larger kitchen faucet, which is of course fresh water, which is what we'll do our final rinses with. The one thing that we're not stoked about is how it's not marine grade. Very few things are. So it definitely has some rust already after only being about a year old, but it's just the way it goes in this marine environment. Okay, I know that we have showed this before. Super proud of this table. We absolutely love it. It is, it used to be just a coffee table, so the top would just hinge up so you could get access to the storage inside. But we really needed something. Obviously, this is where Erica works. I work down below. So let me show you how this works.
Can I get back to work now?
Sure, go back to work. And actually, believe it or not, I built every single part of this except for the laminate that was attached to the tabletop. I built the tabletop and I took it to a laminate guy in Denver. This is when we were still back in the States a year ago. And the metal I bought from Home Depot, welded out of Buddy's garage. He has a little welder, so I welded that all up. Took it to a paint shop, had it powder coated, so hopefully it'll last in this marine environment, at least for a few years. So yeah, pretty proud of that. And actually, it's hard to show you when Erica's working, but the tabletop actually converts into a full table. So this top leaf slides out and kind of locks in. I don't really feel like doing it, but believe me, it's a full-size table there. What's next? Ah, yeah, okay. This was an easy addition. To all of the cabinets, I added motion detector lights so that in the evenings, which they're very, very dark normally. Boy, it's hard to show this in the daytime and show you how nice these cabinets light up with these motion detector lights. And they're rechargeable. You just pull them out, put them on the charger for a couple hours, and they work quite nicely. Moving down into the cabins, I wired the entire boat for USB chargers in every cabin and a cigarette lighter port so that you can have fans in every room. Very important when the heat starts bearing down to have nice fans that can be moved around and to be able to charge all these devices that everybody inevitably owns in their life. Pretty nice. While down here, I'll show you one of the two bow storage rooms. This is the easiest one to access. This is my garage. It's got all my tools and supplies and whatnot. And I added, in this room in particularly, a ton of storage. But on both, I added steel shelves in there to help. On the other side, the port side, is our sail locker. So it's got some of our beach chairs, and the sails all go in here. So yeah, pretty slick. I think we're just about done with the list. The next item up is something that I love, that I'm really proud of. We had on the other boat I built, and I expanded on it on this boat. I've talked about it a little bit, and that is the rain collection system. These boats are incredible. You know, they're rain catches. There's so much real estate up here, and these boats in particular have this gutter system that are built into it, and the water dumps here at the mast and then goes out into the ocean. I started collecting it here. So I built a system, and this is definitely one of those things I could make a whole video on, and I just might. But essentially, I collect the water here, I run it through a series of filters and a pump, cleans everything, and then dumps it into our storage tank. So it's a pretty seamless system that I put a lot of time and effort and energy into, a lot of thought, and it is just as slick as can be. Turns on with a push of the button, because we don't always want to be collecting rain. Either the system's full or the roof is dirty. We want to be able to turn it off, which I can do. But it really is one of those things that helps us live pretty self-sufficiently. So we are very stoked on that indeed. Well, hold on. One of the very last things to show you is this really cool switch panel that I have for a bunch of different lights that we're adding to the boat. We only have one hooked up, and that's the underwater lights right now that we just love. They go from blue to white, and it's, you know, kind of neat to swim around the boat at night with those things on. It sure is pretty. That just about does it for the videos.
Oh geez, I'm exhausted.
You are?
Yeah, that was more than 5 minutes.
I know. Sorry guys, we're at like probably 12 or so. Maybe I don't know.
Maybe we should call it like 12.5-minute Fridays or something else.
I tried. I know it's way long. I don't know what it's at, but sorry.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, most of them are going to be, I'm going to try and keep them to 5, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. Just wanted to do an overview. We're probably going to have quite a bit more of these because I think we have a lot more to show and teach, possibly.
And if there's anything that you'd like to see or want to know,
Reach
or
out
any
to us.
ideas,
Yep, let us know.
send them our way.
Yep. All right, guys, cheers. Have a great weekend. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Bye. Panel that I've used that has air cook. Thanks a lot, honey. Again, the background distracted me.
Welcome to 5 Minute Fridays. This is going to be a whole new segment. Ah! Not working.
Now that we're full, this is not live with. Why can't I say this right? Damn it. Really neat. Six panel. I cannot get this right. Stupid arm.
Maybe. I hope you guys see what I have to deal with.
And they help keep a lot of the temperature. They help keep the temperature down inside. Oh, that doesn't work. So that 11 new solar panels to the top of the cat. Jesus Christ, to keep our 600 amp hours of batteries full during the day, during the night. So good. What you want? Yeah, that didn't work. Ow! Pow, 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 pow!